of the person who actually sells these objects. Markus.
The front line. So the question is, what is in the bag? So just let me show you a few things from Schaden is busy with. So we heard so many things about the future of photo books, and if you hear all these things, you can be on one hand get a strong depression. There will be no future, hundreds of photographers, whatever comes up, and it's ending up in my store. So finally, I have to sell all these things. And even if you go to a Brighton festival, you can't imagine how many people email, calling me up, and do you carry my books? And I sent you 5 boxes of my new published things, and if you then arrive here and you see, oh, maybe a 4 square meter booth, you think, oh my God, this is impossible. So you see, it's a kind of surviving business, and for me, it's kind of a little bit the future thing is what's next. To hear everybody's busy making photo books and finding solutions for the future. For staying every day in a bookstore, it's more like I wanted to step out. So thinking about a solution for a Schaden project in the future is, oh, maybe we should make more projects about books. What is important? We already showed the very famous Uncommon Places book by Stephen Shore. So being busy with these books, Schaden came up with an idea about more projects called the La Brea Matrix. Maybe you remember one of the pictures in the Uncommon Places book with this famous, it's a little bit small, but it's an intersection in Los Angeles, 1975. And knowing a lot of good German photographers, we started having the idea to bring them over to Los Angeles, have a look at their book. They have a strong influence by Stephen Shore, and give them an art residence in Los Angeles to make something out of it, which finally will end up in an exhibition and in a book, of course. And so there's this one solution we're looking forward. The other one is we started 1996 with publishing projects in a very traditional way. And time by time it became more and more risky. So you already spent a lot of money in one book. Chris and all people know about it, how risky it can be. And when all these digital printing processes came up, I was kind of fascinated by these Blurb solutions, but it's very close to one photographer, I make one book. So we tried to find something to make it not in a standard size, in a standard format like Blurb. So we tried to find some digital print options like the HP Imago process, but not using these online options to make the binding, the paper. No, we try to find a printing company who makes digital offset printing and to make a combination with an on-demand thing. So what I wanted to spend not so much money in one book for the first run. So we had the idea, okay, we produce 25 or 30 copies, we sell it in the bookstore, and if we sold it, we make another 25. So this gave us the option, finally, to make a very unrisky investment in book. And I can say it very quickly can ruin you if you invest in the wrong thing, and then finally you have all people around to sell it, and the booksellers don't want it, and it's hard to make it online sales. So now it feels like keep it simple, and so just let me show you a few things we did. This is maybe the most successful the book in this called White Press label production. I'm doing this together with a friend. He does all the production things. And of course, we need the help of the photographers, especially with this book by Frederick Lesney. He did a travel between Vienna and Beirut. And what we did, we printed so all the sheets on normal digital offset. And he made like a 15-meter fold out. So you spend several nights to glue all these things together. The price we get is 80, 100 euro, and the limited is 150 copies each. We have an Arabian and an English edition, and we're so successful that we sold out maybe every 300 copies for a not so low price. So other project we did a small one with a German photographer too. We printed, or we did some special papers inside. We could also sell this for around 50 euro. And the last two projects we did is one, we get a very newspaper-like paper for this. It's very cheap in the production. It's a book by Igor Chepikov called Moscow Heldenstadt. And we put original Russian newspaper prints inside. So every book is a kind of a little unique copy. So it's all numbered, all signed. And for us as a small independent publisher, included in the bookstore, it's a nice option. And I think that the most interesting thing right now is a project called A New American Picture by an American-based famous blogger, Doug Rickett. And it's, I think you needed also 5 minutes to get it, Martin. I can remember. I should. It's a book. I just picked it up, and it's a Google Street Views from America, mostly done in Detroit, Liberty City, Los Angeles, and take a chance to have a look at the booths, of course. But here, we could also produce for 88. So we have a limited edition in a way, but it's not the first deal to make it like this. It's more all the financial background and to keep it unrisky. So I have to say, this is finally a solution for a small independent company we are. And of course, spreading out into more projects, exhibition things, publishing, and book selling on the front line, which is maybe the most exhausting thing I think, could be a solution. But finally, I have to say, there are hundreds of projects around, but the most interesting is, what's the book's about? What is the content? What is what we want to know? And it's not about hundreds, thousands of books, which is important, is to sell. I think it's more about the content. And so stay tuned with the project. We have a little booth outside, whatever you want. Ask us. And maybe it's small, but I think it's a nice solution for independent publisher. Okay.
Markus, one question I can't help but ask you, and it's something I think everyone would like to know. Are you able to predict if a book is going to sell? Are you able to predict if a book takes off? Because you have all these people coming to you, all these photographers, often with their self-published books, small projects. Are you able to know what is going to sell in your shop?
No, it's still a mystery. So, okay, after 15-year experience, okay, you have a kind of an instinct, but I think it's more about innovation. Huh? I have to say, not you're sitting in front of me, Alec, but from here to there catalog, I think it's a fantastic thing. And if you see it, I'm sure we will sell it because we love it, because we estimate it as a catalog, which change kind of layout, gives a few complete books inside. So this, next to all this interesting artist project, is exciting. And finally, not finally, but interesting is that if photographers building up a kind of a productive bookmaking identity, it's important. So like, of course, I'm a fan of all your new documents, people. But look at Rinko Kabuchi, look at Stephen Gill and Alec. These three, for example, all kind of very productive in making books. They make experiments. They're also not afraid to make something wrong, or it's the thing making it. And stay tuned, keep tracking, and follow what stories are told in the books. So this is a feeling. It's not about making one exciting, big, 15-year long work in your dark room or in your little room, and then you say, here, this is my work. Of course it could be exciting, but I think we all have more to follow: biographies, interesting person and personalities and characters. And then also the clients follow these books, even if they're not so super excited, but they want to know what's going on.
They want the full Alex Soft.
Yeah. Fine.
Thank you, Markus.